So hello there again. We're back with another podcast. This time we're going to lighten up and talk about VHS memories, because Ronan and I are both old enough to remember them. Morning,
Yes.
Ronan. Good morning.
Morning.
Yes.
How is everybody doing?
Yes. Or afternoon if you've listened this in the afternoon, or evening, or whenever.
Yes.
Or maybe listen to this to go to sleep. Good choice. We provide a service.
Yes, we'll make your journey go more smoothly.
Yes. So we're old enough to remember VHS, video shops, all of that. Because do you remember when VHS first came out?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't get a VHS player in the house for a little bit later, I think. And we went VHS rather than Betamax. I did know people who did have Betamax, but obviously that didn't last as long, even though Betamax fans would actually say that it's still better than VHS. But we were a bit later getting a video recorder, and bizarrely the first video that we actually rented was Heartbreak Ridge by Clint Eastwood. Bizarrely, that's the only thing I remember about those early days. That was the first video, so I don't know when that dates it to. Is that 1987 or something? 1985. 85.
Yeah. So mine was probably similar. We went VHS because I think by the time we could afford it, the war was over. It was like, I think a lot of people who are early adapters gets messed about because they went Betamax because it was a better model. But if you wait a bit, you can usually see where it's going to go and you can get some good stuff. So we waited. I don't think we even got the VHS until they started selling stuff. Like, remember they started selling it pretty early on. Like, they were selling like stuff in shops, videos in shops.
Yeah.
Yeah, for like a tenner, like Woolies or something, they would be selling them. Because my first buy was D'Artagnan and the Musket Hounds. That was my first video I ever bought, VHS.
Fair enough.
I was about 10, come on. And it was the only thing that was available that I could possibly watch. But I was young, I wasn't old enough to buy anything good because I looked young, so I was kind of stuck.
Yeah.
So, but I remember my second one was a 15 called this old Anthony Perkins movie called The Glory Boys with Rod Steiger. Do you remember that one?
Vaguely, I remember that one.
Yeah, it was on TV as well, and it was. The only thing I remember about it mostly was Anthony Perkins being a total psycho and he ended up shooting someone in the face at the end of it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but I mean,
Kind of like every Anthony Perkins film in the 1980s.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't that good, but it was. I got a 15 when I was young. I was like, oh yes, I'm cool.
Yes.
But yeah, but I mean, so after we got it, I joined the local video shop. Obviously, started renting stuff. Do you do it? So was you a family thing, really, Carl?
Yeah, and we rented as well, doing the local video shop. Again, people would have stories of video nasties, but I wasn't ever allowed to get videos of that kind. Like I've said before, I wasn't allowed to watch The Thing or Alien until I was a lot older.
Yeah.
So I don't have any hilarious stories of being 12 and watching Evil Dead and VHS or anything like that.
Yeah. You were sensitive.
Yes, I was protected.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was the same. I was like, you're not getting that. You're not getting that. The only reason I got the Glory Boys was because it had been on TV. I'd already seen it, and it was like, okay, you've seen it already. There was no point in you saying you can't get it because you've seen it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of them was like, you're not allowed that, but you go to the video shop and then you just guilt trip your parent to say, look, I really want to see this. I know it's a 15, but it's not that bad a 15. It's a soft 15.
Yes.
You're overprotective. You have to let me see things so that everyone else has seen it already in school. You need to let me see this. And that's how I got around everything. That was my technique. basically crying.
When did you kind of go from renting VHSs to actually going and buying VHS tapes?
As soon as humanly possible. Pretty much. I remember I got, I mentioned my Terminator video, I ended up buying Terminator really early. The first one, the Virgin one. It was a Virgin, remember Virgin used to have release films for a while.
Yeah.
And they released Terminator, that was one of the earlier ones. I managed to guilt trip my dad into buying me that. But yeah, I was in like as quickly as I could possibly get in and started collecting. I was probably the first person I knew who had a video collection because I was. But I saw some. A friend of mine they had some video nasties like the zombie, the Fulci one, the zombie flesh eaters. I saw that when I was quite young. I don't know why I managed to see that one, but the bit with the shark.
Yes.
When I'm around his house, I saw that.
The classic scene.
Yeah. So it's a one. I'm not surprised I'm scared of zombies.
Yes.
There's probably a connection there. But yeah, I mean, but I'd see like dodgy things with friends' houses, not my own house. But collecting was pretty early. What about you?
Yeah, it probably wasn't until I was maybe 16, 17 before I started, because there would be films that I would see in the television that the video shop just didn't have, because that was when probably I started getting exposed to foreign films, which the video shop didn't really have a lot of, and even if they did, it was terrible dubbed versions of them. So you actually had to buy the tapes to get, subtitled versions.
Yeah, I don't remember the video shop ever having foreign films ever. I mean, I remember video shops, like there was certain ones, there was Azad and Stevenson I used to go to all the time. And bizarrely enough, I still dream about Azad because I was in it so often. I still have dreams of it there because I remember always wandering around and figuring it out what you get, because you could get an offer like 3 for a weekend or something, and you had to work out what were the best 3 to get so you could survive the weekend. So I remember that, but there was also ones, I'm not sure if you saw them, there was ones where you'd go to your local shop and you'd have Italian titles like the Trinity films or something like that, where they were more low rent, but they were quite interesting. So you'd see stuff like The Last Dragon and things like that, some really dodgy films.
Yeah, I mean, occasionally there would be small kind of grocery stores that would have a video section of 4 tapes or something like that, just bizarrely stuck in with everything else.
Yeah, no, my local one, they actually had they had more than they had a whole shelf full of them, and it was wonderfully bad taste. So I have to really say, whoever got these films in really liked the films, because it was because they couldn't afford the good stuff, so they knew how to get the kind of weirder stuff, and it was like, yeah, I'm going there, I'm getting those tapes. I want to see that. That looks weird enough.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the highlights for me was getting Manhunter, which obviously at the time I had no idea what it was. The cover, I remember, wasn't really that great. It was a very strange kind of cover.
Was it him not looking down with a gun or something?
Yeah, I think it was actually a bit of Tom Noonan, kind of looking mysterious and stern.
All right.
And I brought it home, and it's just obviously still one of the most important films of my life because it's awesome. But then I saw it in Moviedrome again, but it was actually seeing it on VHS out of the video shop the first time I saw it.
Yeah, it's the same with me, I think, because I saw that and I read the book very close together. It was either one or the other. Either I read the book and then saw the film, or saw the book film and then read the book instantly, because it was straight after each other basically, because that was one of the ones I got out, because you'd get a lot of stuff I found, and a lot of it was utter garbage. Then you realise years later, I did see that after all.
Yeah. And because it does have obviously a bit of a cheesy title, it's Manhunter. It's not perhaps the greatest title in the world, so you weren't quite expecting what you were going to actually find, which was one of the greatest films of the 80s.
Yeah, but the thing is, the videos always looked cheesy, so you could get something that was utterly cheesy or you get something amazing, and you'd never know unless it was a film that had been released in the cinema. Then you may have an idea, but a lot of the time it was like Manhunter was pretty much dumped to video over here.
Yeah, I'd never got a cinematic release over here.
Yeah, and there was stuff like Monkey Shines as well. Were the same thing. A lot of Orion films just get dumped over here. We got.
Oh, you.
I'll let you go.
No, I was just going to say, because again, people have to remember there was no such thing as the internet.
Yeah.
So your information about films was fairly limited. So yes, you might have seen stuff in the cinema or been aware of things in the cinema, but obviously there was so many films that never got cinematic releases, so your knowledge of whether a film was going to be good or not, you pretty much had a limited knowledge, so you pretty much just had to go for it based almost on the cover. Because at that point, I wasn't aware of directors and writers or whatever, so you were almost going on the cover.
Yeah, I got this video magazine all the time, and I would actually just see what was out there and just you get all the like releases. So you get stuff like Reanimator. We'd also get these really tacky time releases like 1 star, and then you'd get like something, this is worth seeing, this is not worth seeing, and so we would have video magazines. I also got remember those old Leonard Matlin books?
Yeah.
I'd get them as well, so I could try and plan my video watching, so I could get stuff out that would be good. But you'd still sometimes the cover would be cheesy as hell. You think, I want to see that, and you'd make a terrible mistake. but yeah, I mean, I think by the time we got onto VHSs, the video nasty days were already like well informed, like they were already banned, so you never got them. But I was just too young for that. I was too young and innocent. I was just in for RoboCop, so something wholesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Buy that for $1.
Yeah. So so you'd get a lot of stuff, but I found pretty early on I wanted to own stuff. I did not want to just rent it. It was like renting was for suckers. I just wanted to have my own copy. So I ended up whenever I could, I would go out and actually buy the film, like just go and get it and save money up. I mean,
there was kind of mail order companies, and back in those days it was your order will arrive in 28 days, and it usually was 28 days.
Yeah.
Obviously there's no Amazon get it tomorrow. So you would get mail order catalogues. I can't remember the company's names, but you would get it, and 28 days later it might turn up.
Yeah, you make it sound so seedy.
Yeah, that's just the way it was.
Was that
the internet's useful for some things?
Yeah. Was that the foreign films you got through that? Because I remember buying normal films that were English speaking ones, just from the shops.
Yeah, it was more kind of foreign stuff. Because obviously shops got into obviously as soon as the VHS became for sale, they started stocking it, but then the things that they were ordering in, I'm not sure they were doing quality control on, because like I've maybe mentioned to you before, I got a copy of Man Bites Dog on Tartan Video and John Menzies in Salkits, and it was just sitting there on the shelf, and it's bloody hell, that's Man Bites Dog. So I'm not sure they were really sure what they were stocking.
Yeah, no, I got some really strange stuff. You go into Woolies and you'd find like some odd things. You'd think, I'm buying that. I'm giving it a shot.
Yeah.
And the funny thing was, we also say that most of these films are panned and scanned to start with. It took a long time to get to. So when I first saw the Thing, it took me years to see the Thing in its proper ratio, because in video it was just panned and scanned. That was it. And VHS didn't have a clue about widescreen unless you were a big film like Aliens or Alien 3 or something. You would not get it widescreen. I'd have to buy it. And
because on you.
And it would be this big promotional thing, widescreen, the way it was meant to be seen.
Yes, because also you have to remember, at this time on British television, they didn't have swearing or profanity. They either beeped things out, or they dubbed it terribly. So films like Aliens and Midnight Run were just butchered. So really, the only way to see them properly was to actually get the VHS tapes.
Yeah, or you take them off the TV like at 2 in the morning if they were going to be uncut or something.
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching Aliens and its dubbed version, and it was almost as if they get completely different actors to do the the voices over. It's like,
yeah, it was like a modern Steven Seagal movie.
Yes, that was terrible. Same with Midnight Run, they just butchered it.
Yeah, it was also. We should bring up the fact that you could buy tapes and record stuff off the TV, which I did a lot.
Yes, I mean, some of the DVD discs I have is actually recorded off VHS because that's the only way to do it. So, for example, my copy of Days and Nights in the Forest by Saijit Ray, which I have on a DVD copy, is actually copied from my old VHS version.
Yeah, I mean, it's just some films are just hard to get hold of. It's like they never really transferred them over. And some films would be released, so you just buy blank tapes and go to long play and try and get as many films on it as possible. And
yes, if you bought an E240, you could get 8 hours on it.
I know. I used to have masses of boxes of just films, obscure films. Once you learn to record off the TV, just set the timer. You'd grab anything that looked interesting you could. Like, when Movietron was on, I was taping everything that was available on it.
Yep, so was I. It got even to the sad point that if I didn't like the film, I would keep the Moviedrome intro on the tape.
Yeah.
That's how sad I was.
Yeah, and now you can't get those at all. It's just... But yeah, I mean, I would record stuff, and you just get lots of weird stuff. Like, I know that in Channel 4 used to show a lot of weird films at Christmas, like 2 in the morning. So you'd buy tapes just to record stuff at Christmas. For the 2 in the morning films, you'd get these weird, like, Asian horror films or something, and it was just wonderful. But it was like... I think
that was when I saw Mr. Vampire and Chinese Ghost Story and films like that.
Yes, I mean, VHS was not just what you could buy in the shop or rent, it was like what you could actually tape off the TV, and yeah, you'd have to survive the advertisements, but you'd actually get a lot of stuff. But VHSs were huge, so if you actually were moving anywhere, it took a lot of effort to move them around.
Yeah, I had a cupboard full of shelves of VHSs that now I've got cupboards full of Blu-rays and DVDs.
Yeah, I remember when I was a student, I had to go. When I was a student, I'd have a bag full of stuff, including VHS copies of films, just because I wanted to take them with me so I could see them. I wanted to see them, and now you can put them on a disc, and that's you, a CD wallet, and you're fine. But it's like, it was nuts. Like, you'd be breaking your back trying to carry these things if you're a student.
Yeah, and of course I got to the sad stage where I had 2 VHSs. So I would cut out the adverts in films and edit them again. Obviously, the quality would then suffer.
I know. I would just fast forward. Honestly, I was.
I just wanted the run.
I know, but also if you're watching at the time, you could just stop the tape and miss the ads.
Yeah.
You're taping when you're watching, you can do that as well. But yeah, I mean, my collection was insane of VHSs, and also like, buying them sometimes. If you got a really strange one, you try and watch as many times before you take it back to the video shop.
Yeah.
I remember the first one, Peter Jackson one, the Bad Taste. When I was a student, we got it out, and we watched it 4 times before we took it back the next day. It was like, you got to come and see this, and someone else would watch it. You got to come and see this, someone else would watch it. And it was like, we got it in like 2 minutes before the time we'd have to pay more, because we were watching it so many times. But things like that were fun.
Yes. I mean, I remember as a student, and we were all renting videos, and I recommended Naked Lunch because I wanted to see it because it was Cronenberg, and of course, strangely enough, everybody else absolutely hated it.
It could be worse. I took people to cinema to see that film.
Yeah. They never really trusted my opinion ever again.
I had a friend. I've still got a friend. He's still a friend of mine. And he would be, we'd actually say to him, okay, we know it's your turn to choose, but can you please choose something watchable this time? Because he'd always think, oh, that looks good to the worst looking film imaginable. We'd always take turns, and it would be like, what the hell are you buying? What are you renting for? Is this terrible stuff? You know, he'd the unerring way ability to pick out the worst film in any video shop. Like the film that would be down the bottom somewhere that no one would go to, he'd find it, say, that's the one.
Yeah.
I was weird like that.
So if you want to alienate people, hire Naked Lunch.
Yeah.
For people who've never seen a Cronenberg film before.
Oh yeah, I showed my friends, because I already had Shivers. When Shivers first came out, it was in VHS.
Yeah.
And when it first came out, it cut, of course. I bought it because I was a Cronenberg nut even then, so I bought it like the early 90s when I was a student. And people started watching it with me, and everyone was like, what the hell are we watching? And then I bought like Videodrome, and again it was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, because that's another thing. A lot of the time the VHSs you would buy would be cut versions.
Yeah.
They wouldn't actually, so it took years for certain films to actually be released uncut.
Or released.
So, yeah. So you had this constant kind of, is this the right version? What's the running time? How long is, you know?
Yes. Yeah. What is the running time compared to America? Is there something to do with the transfer from PAL to NTC, whatever the American one was?
Yeah.
And it was always this thing trying to work, is it the transfer or is it the actual cut? And
I mean, Dawn of the Dead, for example, is a perfect example of that. I mean, there's still an element of that, but not as much as it was in the VHS days.
And people now know because of the internet you can get it anywhere you want, so it's like, what's the point? Yeah. But before, they did not like... I mean, the BBFC were terrible for cutting stuff, and the notorious one was Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, where they changed the meaning of one of the most disturbing scenes to make it easier for the people, and it was like, well, that wasn't the point of the scene.
Yes.
So
the BBFC were notorious in those days just for recutting people's films.
Yeah. And it was like a lot of films you didn't see till the DVD before you'd get the good version.
Yeah.
But the thing I liked about VHS though is that I always found like DVDs to be very flat images. I think VHS I always found to have more depth to the image, even though it wasn't as good. It was a warmer image. I quite liked it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's people that still collect VHSs and still say they're kind of the definitive way of watching a film, but unfortunately, over time, the tape, you would get those dreaded horizontal lines through the image if you watched it over and over and over again.
Yeah, especially if a sequence you've watched again and again and again, because it's so depraved that you have to keep watching it because you can't resist.
And again, there's no chapter to zip back to like we have now with Blu-ray and DVD. You had to rewind the tape and fast forward, rewind, fast forward, rewind.
And another thing you had to learn to do was, if a tape get chewed up, to actually to take it apart and untangle it all and get it to work again.
Yes.
You actually learned to be. I learned to be quite good at that because you found out where each little bit actually worked and what you had to do to make it work again.
Yeah, so I suppose in some way it is a more organic form of viewing a film because you do have to get involved with it.
Yeah.
On a physical level at some point.
Yeah, but it was just fun because it was a collection. It was like you could see the tape, you could see how it worked. You knew how it worked when you put it in the machine. It made sense to you. But since the DVD came, it was like it's lots of cool new stuff, but it does feel colder. I thought it was much. It was slightly more distance, but then again, it didn't break as much as the VHSs.
No.
But because VHS is still the first one, I still feel very nostalgic to it. It was also the price of it hasn't gone up much. I mean, you used to buy VHSs for £10-15, and now you can buy Blu-rays for £10-15 partly because the making the Blu-rays don't cost as much. But also, I don't think people are going to spend any more than that on a film.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not worth it to them. They're just a nup. So it's quite funny, you're actually getting a lot of stuff cheaper now than you did then because if you look at inflation, you're not paying as much. It's still the same price point.
Yeah. So, can you remember a big VHS purchase that you made as far as tapes? Because I remember getting the Twin Peaks series box set on VHS, which obviously was huge. And I remember it coming on a Saturday, and it happened to be a weekend that my parents were away, so I pretty much sat and watched the whole thing over the weekend.
I never bought that Twin Peaks thing because I got it when it went to DVD.
Yeah.
Really, I think it could have come out when I was Twin Peaks came out just before I became a student, and then I never had any money. And then when it went to DVD, that's when I had some more money, so I could get it. Really.
Yeah, so I've had it in the VHS, bought DVD, Blu-ray, and then obviously there's a new box set coming out, which I'm not going to buy.
Yeah, you restrain yourself.
Yeah, I'm going to restrain myself. The A to Z box set.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think. I never bought the big box sets. I was buying individual stuff all the time. I wasn't really I probably just couldn't afford them really more than anything else. I'd buy them individually rather than any massive box sets. But I bought a lot though. I mean, I was buying plus you'd go from pan and scanned version, then you went to widescreen version, so you pay for it twice basically. And this one was like £15 each. So you're going through a lot just to buy a film. And so that's probably as far as I went, but I was buying so many, I was buying really stupid stuff. But I also remember when I was a film student, the good thing with VHS was they would record all this stuff off TV that I'd missed, these obscure films. So you could rent them off because you're a student, you could rent them from the library. So you'd get all these really weird films, plus you'd buy films in that were expensive, so they would buy them so you could rent them and you'd actually get to see the film because you couldn't afford it, but you could see it just renting it from the library, which was great.
Yeah, while I was at university, I would leave instructions for my parents of what to record. So I'd give them a timetable of things to record.
I bet you're popular.
Yep.
I never went that far. I really didn't.
That made up for not letting me see The Thing.
Alright, no, I never went that far. I mean, sometimes I was going out, I'd leave instructions for something, but not while I was away at uni. That would be... Nah. They'd tell me to get lost. They'd be like, no, we're not doing that. Tough. You're not... No. But you did manage to buy stuff. I remember I bought The Vanishing when it first came out on VHS, in the early 90s. And you'd get these little booklets with it, which is the first time you got booklets with anything.
Yeah.
I was really impressed by, because it was you can buy a film and get a booklet as well explaining why it's so cool.
Yeah, because Tartan Video was big, and then Artificial Eye, because as we mentioned before, I had the Artificial Eye VHS of Decalogue, which was like a brick. It was two sets of 2 videos, so it was rather large. You'd save your money and go to Glasgow and go to HMV and buy VHSs.
Oh yeah, I would do that as well. I would go to Glasgow and buy stuff. You try and buy them all on a sale so you get as much as possible.
Yeah.
Then come back this massive bag and you're breaking your back trying to get back home with everything. And the funny thing was when I went to DVD, I'd still go and do the same thing. It was just DVDs. You could buy box sets and still be pulling your bag. It's like the weight hasn't gone down much because it just means I can pack more into the bag. That's the only change. I've just used the excuse to spend even more money on the smaller packaging.
Yes.
So
again, you have to continue to upgrade and get newer versions.
Yeah, but then you get to the stage where you have to try and write down everything on them, like what's on the tape, and try and find it, and it would fade away, and try to think, okay, where's this tape again? Because there's so much stuff that it's impossible to find. At least with Blu-rays, you can see what's on everything, but we've taped stuff off the TV VHS. Is what's where? I've completely lost in logic.
So, like I kind of mentioned earlier, when we then moved to DVD, I then burnt a lot of my VHS material onto DVD, and then got rid of my VHSs.
I never did that. I was too lazy. I just was like, no, I'll just rebuy them.
Yeah, it took a long time.
Yeah, Yeah, no, it was that thing. Is like it was just like that's too much effort. I'm just not going to do that.
I mean, it was worth it for obviously the things that you can't actually get on DVD, but
Yeah, I know that's the thing now. I now regret, but at the time I was lazy. I assumed it would come out on DVD, but then they didn't, and I was like, bugger, they never come out. That's so bad. That's so wrong.
so I still have the European video cut of Manhunter on a DVD, which I think's the best version.
Oh my god, that's
how sad I am.
oh, that's great. You know, it's one of those ones. Like I haven't seen that for years. That one is that the one where he talked about the guy's childhood and stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's the one. I mean the director's cut is probably the best one you can get on Blu-ray, but it's got the two scenes with him talking to the guy who owns the house that shows him round, which you don't really need, and then it's got the scene where his wife comes to visit him for almost like a conjugal visit, which isn't really necessary. So the European video cut didn't have that, but it had more Atlanta PD.
Yeah,
because the theatrical cut just misses out bits of dialogue at the Atlanta PD bit.
Yeah,
and misses out a scene in the corridor. I'm that anal about Manhunter.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm as well. Like, I was annoyed to cut out some scenes I liked, and they were never found again. It's like, come on, that was a good scene. What's up?
Yeah.
Michael Mann loves recutting films, but it will not release to keep. That's very annoying.
Yeah, because he hates it for some reason. I don't know why. Because
I had to keep in DVD and VHS for a while. I have a really bad copy of it, where it was like, you'd barely see anything. But it was like, I also remember when I first saw The Exorcist. I saw it in pirate, and it was almost fuzzy as hell. And it was actually the best time I've ever seen The Exorcist because it was so much scary that way. When you're trying to go like this and wonder what's going on, and
because you have to remember, Reservoir Dogs was actually banned from video for being so violent, and Bad Lieutenant as well. So I got pirated copies of both of them. It seems bizarre now that Reservoir Dogs was actually banned, but it was.
And Natural Born Killers was banned as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course I was at film school then, so as soon as it was banned, we had copies of it the next day. It was like, yeah, we don't have to worry about that one. We've got it covered.
Because obviously I remember famously Emma Thompson saying that Reservoir Dogs is the most violent film she's ever seen, and it's like,
you just seen Bill
have
Bunch?
you not seen a James Bond film?
Yeah,
James Bond's far more violent.
Yeah, but yeah, it's that was a weird. I think just because it was. I think a lot of people, if they see a violent film, it's just violent in a few places. That's what they get, some more than tons of violence. If you see blood, I mean, James Bond
has the consequences of violence rather than the actual acts of violence.
Yeah, or Bond's just blowing people up.
Yeah, Tim Roth rolling about in the back of a car in his blood isn't violence; it's the consequences of violence.
And that's something Tarantino doesn't do very often now. He kind of went away from that, which is a shame because that was more interesting than some of the stuff he's done.
Yeah, I still think Reservoir Dogs is his best film.
Yeah. It was also the thing VHS was actually just try and find those weird films, because I always find that the distributors were more open to trying stuff in VHS days. It expanded a bit, and I'm hoping it expands again with because it's now streaming. Hope they try and expand a bit more because it's just streaming stuff. But probably won't. But VHS, if you really put the effort in, you can actually find stuff that was difficult to find. They really, it was just like you had to hunt it down. You know, you really had to go out into these like strange second-hand shops and trawl through all the titles. One thing I used to do a lot was I used to go to the video shops and look at their ex-rental stuff. You get some weird stuff there. You get some really good stuff for like £2 or something. That was like something you didn't have to buy for a tenner. You did buy it for £2, but get a bunch of interesting films that were a bit odd. Yeah. So I would do that as well.
And of course now with streaming, you don't actually own it. You don't actually have the physical copy, which is why I think I'll always prefer having the physical copy of it.
Yeah, I'll always go towards physical copies, but I've bought stuff on streaming because sometimes it's like I can't really justify spending too much money in this one.
Yeah.
I don't really mind. Or if it's, if it's a film I really love, I'm going to buy the physical copy. But if it's to do, or if it's something like the keep where I want a copy, that's the only way you get it, it's to buy the streaming version for a few £, I will do it. But because some films weren't available when you buy them in streaming version, and then they become available later, so you can buy them later on. Like I bought a Dark Half last year, and now it's available in Blu-ray, and it's like, well, I guess I'm going to have to double dip with this one because I want the extras to look good. But streaming's kind of like a weird middle ground for me. And I heard people are now rebelling against streaming because it is essentially renting most of the time. You're not really owning anything.
Yeah.
And I think people are now getting a bit realising that, and are now kind of going back towards physical again, which is good. Cause
yes. Oh, you go.
No, I'll let you.
No, I was just going to say, it's like people I know who had, big CD collections, and they just got rid of them and put them all on digital. And it's like, you don't actually have them anymore. You do have them on digital, but if that goes, you've got nothing.
Yeah, I'd rather keep the copies.
Yeah.
Of course, it means I've got tons of stuff, like massive amounts of things.
Yes. I'm running out of space.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. And I'm getting some stuff through the weekend, which is going to make my problem even worse. And it's like, God, where did I put it all? But then again, you think when it was the VHS days, it was much harder because they take up so much more space, and it's like, and you just as much of them, and it's like, where did the space go?
Yeah, because it's about 3 Blu-rays for the thickness of a VHS.
Yeah, and still you can play. I mean, a VHS is sort of like a small box set now.
Yeah.
Basically. But you'd find ways to store them. You'd buy stuff to store them, and you'd pile them up. Because, I mean, one thing about VHS is, with they were very durable, you could bash them about a bit, and you'd be fine. DVDs are a lot less durable. They don't. You have to be a bit more delicate. So, once I've broken, there's not much you can do about it.
No.
But the VHSs are. It's kind of weird because you realise they lasted 20 years. I mean, every other format lasts about 10 is the main thing. They lasted for a long time. Even though people knew they weren't the best, it's still something that it was the first format people could own in their hands. I own this film, I can watch whenever I want. That was an important thing.
Yeah, because I think that's why people are still nostalgic about it, and people still collect them.
Yeah, because they were the new thing. They were the first thing that were, and if you're a certain generation, that's when you've found a way to collect films. That was when you were your first chance to own something that you loved.
Yeah.
And buy stuff.
So bizarrely, the issue is actually getting video players that have survived this long.
Yeah.
So the tapes have actually outlasted some of the machines.
Do you have a video player?
I still have an old one.
Yeah, me too.
It's not hooked up to anything, but I've still got it in a cupboard.
Yeah, because I've got that. I've got a thing you hook up to the computer to transfer footage over, and now of course I've told people I've got it. That was a big mistake because now you get requests made. Can you transfer that over for me? So now I've got a backlog of stuff I need to do for people. It's like, Jesus, I shouldn't have told anyone this. This is like, I did it for one thing, for one favour for somebody, and then since then it's out of control. So, yeah, but I mean, VHSs do have this kind of romance to them that it's just there. It's the same way I think as some people have romance about record, like vinyl, or something.
Yeah, vinyl has come back. So.
Yeah, and you're now buying Blu-rays in a VHS box. It's
I have a version of the thing.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yeah. Of course you have.
Yes.
I haven't gone that far yet. I'm not. I prefer spending money on box sets and stuff rather than kind of retro stuff. But I can get the attraction because when you see a videotape, you think you do have memories of stuff you used to have but you lost somewhere. You don't know where they've gone to.
Yeah.
Like old things you taped and you're like, where did that go?
Yeah, there's a whole range of 80s films in that format that they released.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you get them though. I mean, I found one. I bought a Wild Geese and Arrow thing, and they gave you this old Lewis Collins one, Operation Wild Geese, which is one of those Italian-German co-productions
Yeah.
that were released in the 80s. They were prime, straight-to-video films, and it was like, you know, watching it was like, God, this must have cost 20 pence to actually make because it's so cheap looking.
Yes.
And there were all these actors slumming it in there, and it's like, it was a delight to watch, even though it wasn't a very good film. It was just delightful to see. And you get some YouTube channels talking about them now and reviewing old VHS films that you can't get anymore.
Yeah.
There was a charm to them. People still feel like nostalgic. Was this? I've got this. Oh, well, you can't see it in this, but there's one called Girls and Guns and G-Strings, which is these old American.
Yes, Andy Sedaris.
Yeah, and it's like, I just got it just for the sake of it, and it's like, I've not even watched them yet, but it's like, this was like pure VHS sleaze at a time.
Yeah.
And now it's a time period that's now long gone. But you
It's
can
like 12 films on 2 discs.
yeah, I know, because I've got all these films, like, I bought these, Mill Creek from America, they released all these old ones.
Yeah.
I've bought some of them, like the sci-fi and horror ones. These are old, weird titles, like Rotor or something. That is like, it's irresistible. You just feel like, oh, God.
Yeah, I've got the Chuck Norris one where he goes against an android, which is hilarious.
Yeah, but it's funny because some of those films work better in the VHS format. As soon as you upgrade them, they lose their charm. Like when I first got a Blu-ray, I bought Highlander, one of the first buys, and you could see the wires and things. And it was like you've completely lost the charm of Highlander because it needed VHS.
Because that's kind of one of the downside of Blu-rays. It does expose matte work.
Yeah.
A lot more than obviously VHS. So matte work is sometimes exposed, even in The Thing. It's kind of more obvious in Blu-ray.
Yeah. Also, Evil Dead gets badly exposed by when you rewatch it from when it was VHS. It looked so much better. And it looks much scarier because now you can see the effects are fake.
Yeah, there's something to be said about seeing a kind of shaky, dark, did I see that or did I imagine it, you know, and then when you see it in high definition, everything's exposed.
Yeah, I find something like Alien and Aliens as well, they look too good now, and I'd rather them be a bit more grimy. It's like you've lost the kind of grimy, dirty feel to them you get in VHS that just isn't there anymore, and it's like they lose some of the charm that they had when you
I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre's a bit like that as well.
Oh yeah, there's something about that. But then again, there's other films that look so much better. Like if you see something like The Red Shoes now, it looks so much better, and it's like perfect for Blu-ray. But you get some films, like horror films, definitely work better than VHS. There's just something about them that's. But then again, you see something like Horror of Dracula with all the colours now, the Hammer stuff, and it looks really good. But there's kind of a grimy horror that just works better on VHS.
Yeah, again, I think it goes back to that kind of romantic, nostalgic view of watching VHSs. If you shouldn't watch the film or whatever, and it has a kind of colour and look to it that now perhaps it doesn't have anymore.
Yeah, it was a bit more intimate watching stuff because you could see how it was working and it was grinding through and it was still. It just felt more personal. Now it's just mass produced. Of course, it was always mass produced, but it's harder to do mass production VHSs. Now it's just like a bunch of stuff just burnt on a disc, one after another. It's like very impersonal now. You're just one of many.
Yeah.
And streaming's even worse because you're just an outlet that gets the film every so often. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I suppose the only thing that changes with streaming is your bitrate. If your bitrate drops, you'll get blockiness and lines and
VHS style. Yeah. You have to mess around with your streaming service to get VHS. Yeah, I mean it's It's a wonderful time. It's,
Yeah, you can choose. I mean, it is a great time to be a film fan because you have so many choices. Yes, all the films that we would want released aren't released, but certainly
lots
your
are.
options are increased.
I mean, you're getting a lot of the wrestling stuff coming out now. You're getting the Criterion's releasing a lot artificial. I know Curzon or something now,
Yeah.
and you're getting like Master Cinema. There's a lot of good stuff coming out.
And certainly Arrow does a good job of
The old stuff,
releasing those 80s VHS titles.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there is a good time now, but there was a gap for a long time from between the 80s and now that you lost a lot of that stuff that it was hard to get hold of. And there's still films I saw in the VHS days from the video shop that I've never seen again, and it's like, where the hell's it gone? Couldn't have just disappeared. And then there's other ones you see years later and think, oh, I did see that after all. Like, I found out recently, when I watched Miracle Mile, I had actually seen it before, but I hadn't remembered I'd seen it before. So I remembered a couple of scenes. And Night of the Comet, when I started watching that, it was like, I've seen this. Like, I know this really well. Like, but instantly, as soon as I saw and watching it, I knew everything was going to happen. It was like, I'd seen that in VHS. So there are stuff that kind of falls away in your memory, but it is there somewhere deep in your subconscious. It's still there. So, do you have anything else to say about VHS?
I don't think so. Even though it was a exciting time, because, like you said, it was the first time you could actually own a film. Without, obviously, in the olden days you'd have to get a 35mm print of it or something.
Yeah.
So you could actually own it, and it was affordable. And granted, you perhaps didn't have the choice that we now have, but it was certainly a gateway into collecting, and I think all collectors would have fond memories of that time, just because it was the first thing.
Yeah. It was a gateway drug to collecting. Yeah. It's what you hooks into you. Then when it got better definition, you went even further and further and further into this financial hellhole I call collecting.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wonderful. I have great memories of the 80s, especially the 80s when you were just discovering stuff, because that's when I was discovering films and learning what directors were. And, this was just like, it was a film school before film school type of thing. It was like something to learn so much from. So it was wonderful, but yeah, as time has passed though, I mean, it was like...
Yes.
And it's necessary it moves on a bit now to something else, but I think for a certain generation, certain people who grew up at a certain time, there is a kind of real nostalgia for it that's hard to really get over.
Yeah.
Especially when you saw some really seedy stuff in the 80s. Like some really disgusting stuff that you should never have watched.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we all know what you're talking about.
We're talking whole genres here. We're talking about, if it came from Italy, there's a good chance it's in what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Or Germany, co-productions. There's some really strange stuff that came out that will never be seen again. That maybe, thankfully, lost to time.
Yes.
Well, thanks to everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Going down memory lane of VHS. And hopefully, if you weren't alive at the time, hopefully this gives you an idea of why VHS is such a nostalgic thing for some people.
Yes, and if you want to leave comments, if you were around the VHS time, what your early memories, what were your first titles that you rented, would be interested to hear.
And if you weren't around at the time, now you know why you're inferior. I couldn't resist, sorry. I'm joking, don't worry, I'm not being serious.
And why you've probably got more money than we do.
Yeah, well that's definitely the case. Well, we hope you enjoyed that, and we'll be back soon with another episode. Right.
Okay, bye.
Right, bye.